Are you in a situation right now where you maybe hate your job, you're not satisfied with your work, you're not satisfied with your life, you just are turning into a cranky arsehole? Stick along, this video may be for you. I know where you're coming from because that person was me. This is going to be my testimony on how Jesus has literally transformed my life. I don't know how long it's going to be, and Spirit, Lord, just give me the words to emphasize everything that's needed in this video. So, I'm 33 years old right now. I've been a born-again believer for probably, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years now. And my journey started back in my 20s. Actually, almost right out of high school, quite honestly. I graduated high school, and as we all are in high school, we really, at least I'm going to speak for myself, I didn't know who I was in high school. I was still trying to fit in and, just trying to put on that mask, right? To just be, to be popular or just fit in or have friends or, whatever it is, right? So I really wasn't sure on who I actually was as a person. So with that being said, in high school, had my high school sweetheart. We were on and off and, all through high school. When I graduated high school, I actually graduated high school and I moved to Ontario because that's where my old man lived. And I came back after probably about a year. Funny enough, me and my high school sweetheart, we got in contact again and we started up a relationship. Turns out, before we started the relationship, I found that she told me that she had an abortion. And we sat down and talked and we said, we're going to try to make this relationship work, try and move forward past this. So that's what we did. I bought a house. She moved in with me. I was doing construction work at the time. At that time, I was probably about a year or two into my construction job doing rebar. We were living together for about the first year. Everything was good. I didn't like my job. I knew that I hated my job, but it was paying good money. Didn't have any university or college education. So, going to a rebar yard, starting off at almost $20 an hour was, great coming out of high school for me. So did that. Knew that I didn't like it, but at the same time, knew that I wanted to start a family. So me and the girlfriend at the time, we moved in together, had the place, and it just slowly just started going downhill. I knew that, well, no, I didn't know anything, actually. I was kind of hoping that the relationship would work out, but where we were still young, we just didn't put the effort in to try and fix the relationship. So the relationship just it blew up. So that was literally the first rock bottom for me, is relationship blowing up. Now I'm stuck with this house that I already started tearing apart to do renovations with. I'm stuck. My love, my girlfriend, she's gone now, so I'm stuck with the house alone, stuck with all these bills, stuck with a job. I don't even want to go to work anymore. I don't even want this house anymore, but yet I'm still stuck with everything because I still have the bills, and if I would have just let go of everything, it would be a detriment to me. So I made a decision, okay, I got to finish my house, I got to finish renovating my house. So I took the next 2 years, and over in those next 2 years, I'm telling you, people that were working with me, there'd be days I'd go into work, I wouldn't say a word. We'd carpool, I'd get into the truck every morning and the boys would know, just say hey, and they'd know just by my demeanor to just kind of leave me alone for the day. And I did that because that's what I needed to do to survive. I just needed to focus on the day and what the job was at hand. Otherwise, if I went on a tangent, there was times where I would throw my hard hat, walk off the job site, throw rebar, like just an absolute hateful person. I was in my 20s. My hair was turning gray. I remember there was one time I was just so stressed out towards the end of everything. I finally, after those 2 years, I got the house renovated and it was up for sale. It took forever, about another year to sell it. And just in that time, I was just downfalling even more. My days were just, just hate filled almost, right? Just, I would turn into this cranky arsehole at work. Not every day, but, probably 80% of the time. I just was paying bills, going to work to pay bills, and getting drunk on the weekends, partying, just in a sad state of affairs. And if this sounds familiar, well, it may be time for a little bit of a wake-up call. So during that 2 years, 3 years that I was renovating the trailer, I knew that I wanted to travel. I absolutely knew that I wanted to travel. I haven't come to the Lord yet. So I sold my trailer, and I was at a point in time where I was at work and I just said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I lost 40 pounds. My hair's turning gray. I'm in my 20s. I'm turning into a 60-year-old arsehole. So I can't do this. I put in my 2 weeks notice in around December and said, I'm done. I am done. Here's my 2 weeks notice. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So that's what I did. I had no plan, no goals. Didn't know what I was going to do. So just quit. I took my bonus money and everything from Christmas and my lump sum payout, took all of that, and I just took a step back from the situation. And lo and behold, I actually found another rebar job, but this time it was out west. So I'm on the East Coast, so I moved, 10,000, 12,000 kilometers all the way across Canada, and I went to this rebar job because I knew rebar, and just from doing that simple change from coast to coast, I was getting paid almost triple the amount of money. So my goal and my idea was, okay, I'm going to move out west. This is a step in the right direction to get into me to go and to want to travel. I can go make bank out there, pay off all my debts, save up money, and go travel. So that's exactly what I did. And I lived out there for about a year. And during this year, this is where I came back to Christ. Thank you, Jesus, for not giving up on me. So me and my brother, we found an apartment, and it was a 4-unit apartment where it had two units upstairs, 2 units downstairs. And when we were looking at the apartment that we were looking at, the landlord was just showing us around the building and showing us the upstairs units. They were beautiful. They had vaulted ceilings. They were like 12, 14 foot tall vaulted ceilings, big windows. And we're like, man, like this is a really nice, like very bright, really nice apartment. Didn't think anything of it. So we were there after a couple months, just doing our things. And I'm still trying to, at the time I found this person and he's like, you can talk to the stars and like, you can tell them what to do and like all of this stuff. So I started doing that and I'm like talking, you may think I'm crazy. So I started talking to the stars and they started doing things that this guy was saying. Like they would start pulsating and they would start moving. And like I would tell these stars to move and do things and they would do them. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And I remember one time I told my brother, I'm like, watch this, man. Like I'm looking at, so we lived in a basement apartment and I'm looking out, there's 2 windows and just little tiny windows about that big. And there's a deck on the other side of the windows. And I'm looking out the window under the deck at nighttime and I'm like, watch this. You see that star there? I'm going to tell this star to drop down out of the sky and shoot away. So my brother's like, okay, like, sure. Well, so I do my thing there, talk to the star, right? It drops out of the sky, goes across the window, and shoots away. We're blown away. Absolutely blown away. So progressing. This is just happening. Stuff's happening. Stuff's just going crazy. Stuff's falling out of the sky. Stars are pulsating, changing colors, like all of this crazy, crazy stuff. And there was a time where I remember I was laying in bed and I was just like looking for answers, just like, what is the point of all of this? Like, what am I doing? Where do I look? Who do I go to look for? Like, I'm like, what's going on here? If there's a God, like, what's going on here, God? Like, this makes absolutely no sense to me. What is going on? And all of a sudden, I remember God spoke to me, not in words, not that time, not the first time, not in words. But all of a sudden, do you remember those, you get those things you put on your face and you put a card in them and you go, and it goes through pictures every time you press the button? That's what was going inside my brain. I'm laying in bed and I am just beside myself. I'm like crying and I'm just like, man, what is going on? What's the purpose of this? What's going, like, what is life? This has no meaning. Bah, 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 bah. This, like, bah, I'm just so, like, mortified and sad and just, there's no hope. There's no hope. And then all of a sudden, like I say, these pictures, like the, whatever that pictogram thing was, just started flashing in my brain. Just do. And it started from when I was young to when I was older, and it was just pictures and visuals of all of these happy times growing up, happy times with family, happy times with friends, memories, great memories from just all of these, they just flooded my being. Just flooded me. And I took it. I'm like, Lord, if this is you, is this you? It continued, just going off, all of these happy memories. And where I first started it, I was just so anxious and just sad and mortified of just what's going on. And I took that as the Lord talking to me. I said, Lord, I hear you. I hear you. There's no need to be sad. Look at all the amazing things that you've done in my life. And look at all the amazing things that you're going to continue to do. And I started to just feel, and I was still crying. And instead of tears of sadness, they changed to tears of happiness. Tears of happiness. I just felt so at peace and just cared about. It was just absolutely amazing. So that was the start of my journey. I said, Lord, I'm going to, I hear you, I'm going to give myself to you, Lord. Like, that's why I got this cross. I wanted to get a cross just on myself to just remind myself. So I got this after I was done traveling from that year. So I said, Lord, I hear you. You're the way. So that's when it came to be that I was born again. I devoted my life not to the best of my ability at the time, but to what I could do at the time and what I was still learning and thinking was right and all of that stuff. I said, Lord, I hear you. You're King of Kings. I completely understand that now. So fast forward a little bit, and unfortunately, even after that, I'm still going out and partying and drinking, right? Like very, very baby new Christian. I don't have anybody in my corner to show me the way of what true Christianity is, what true godliness is, what following Jesus really looks like. So we'll fast forward a little bit, and I don't know, I want to say like coming home from a bar or something one night, or getting home from work or something, and called a cab, and we told him, hey, we're going over here, and he looks at us and he's just like, oh, you're going to the crack house, are you? I'm like, huh? What do you mean we're going to the crack house? No, that's where we live. He's like, oh, well, they must have sold it because a little bit ago that was a crack house. And it's funny because under the stairs where we were staying in the basement suite, there we found actually spoons and needles. So he wasn't lying. It was definitely a crack house. He's like, yeah, it was a crack house. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, it was probably about a year ago that it was a crack house. But before that, get this, before that, it was a church. And I said, what? He said, yeah, this was a little bit ago, probably 10 years ago now. Maybe not that long. This area it completely changed. And this building that you're now living in used to be a church. Get that? Yeah, pretty crazy, right? I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. So, like, what are the chances? What are the There's no chances. There's no coincidences. What you consider a coincidence is a God incidence. That's the way that I look at it. There are no coincidences. It's a God incidence. So with that being said, he brought me and brought us all the way out west, put us in the basement of a converted church. For whatever reason, because there was just, I don't know, holiness there, or that was the place that we needed to grow. But it just blew my mind that that's where I came back to the Lord, was in a basement apartment of a converted church. It's unreal. He is He's here all the time. And if you're going through something similar in your life, I look back at the person that I used to be, and I used to just be this cranky person and would always find the negative in the situation and go out of my way to find the negative in the situation. Not anymore. I look back and I came back from out west after I found the Lord. And I'm not lying. My friends and my family, every single person, they looked at me and they said, "Who are you? Who are you?" Ooh, excuse me. Praise Jesus. I said, "I'm the same person. I'm the same person. I have just found the Lord and I found my purpose." Because the person that I was before, it was a excuse me. It was excuse me. Night and day difference. Night and day difference. So, if you feel like you don't have any hope, if you feel like you're stuck in a job, stuck in a situation, and you feel like there's no hope, I'm living proof. There's hope. There's hope. Oh, night and day difference. Night and day difference. Praise Jesus. If there's anything that I can just impart to you, is He loves you. He loves you so much. He doesn't want to see you suffer. He don't want to see you suffer. Call to Him. Seek Him. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be answered. Seek Jesus. And the peace you will feel will be just immense. Now that does not mean that you will not go through trials and tribulations. This year has been the most tumultuous year that I've ever gone through. The most tumultuous. And the only way, and the only reason, and the only source of energy that I was able to get on the other side of this is through Jesus. Through Jesus. Without Him, I don't even know where I'd be right now. I don't even know where I'd be. So find Jesus, y'all. Just come to Him with an open heart. If you hear Him knocking, just open that door. Open that door. He only wants the best for you. Do not let the devil in, and do not let the devil confuse you. Do not let the devil put those blinders on your eyes. Seek Jesus, y'all. Seek Jesus. God bless, and we'll see y'all again soon.